Salutations everyone, and welcome to What Mattered, the show where I tell you what mattered in the news this week. You all have a good week? I'll tell you who didn't have a good week. Confederate flag-loving homophobes who wanted to play Arkham Knight on PC. Very specific group, I know, but nonetheless, bummer week for those guys. So yeah, sour news for those that wanted to play Arkham Knight on PC. I myself, of course, am on console, haven't had any problems, really like the game, haven't finished it so far, so no spoilers please, but really good game. The way that they handled the movement with the Batmobile, the fact that you got so many gadgets carried over from previous games that you didn't have to reacquire, the new things that implemented with fighting, the new bat suit. And it's just, it's really cool. I highly recommend it. It's really fun, but PC people aren't having as much fun. There was a lot of really bad graphical issues plaguing the game on PC. Rocksteady said that the company that they sent the game over to port over to PC obviously didn't do a very good job. So much so that Warner Brothers is pulling the game from PC downloadable websites until they can get this fixed. So it's off of Steam and other places that you can get it until they can make this port more playable, and that is a definite bummer. You know, a lot of games in the past year or so have been plagued with a lot of problems at launch. A lot of people are saying you shouldn't pre-order games or buy them at launch anymore because of these problems. But with pre-order bonuses as an incentive, hey, it worked on me, I need to get that Red Hood DLC. It helps their day one sales, helps, you know, get their game out there in the spotlight, but unfortunately these things do happen, and the price of these games are going down a lot faster than they had historically. So there are some reasons not to buy a game when it first comes out, but usually stuff like this doesn't happen. But it's a shame, but a good game. So our new Spider-Man has been casted. It's Tom Holland, the kid from The Impossible, and he's also in the Chris Hemsworth's Moby Dick movie later this year. I believe that's Christmas. So a very unknown actor. He's 19 and he's a straight white male, which people are going to like, oh no, it can't be. We need Miles Morales. Whatever, people that will never be pleased. I myself, as many of you know, was really pushing for Asa Butterfield. I thought he was the best actor out of the ones that were available. He was the right age, right look, and I thought he could pull it off. But he was supposed to be like the front runner, and then he wasn't even in the top three, and then Sony wanted one guy, and then Marvel wanted another guy, but man, out of that we got Tom Holland, apparently. He will be making a brief cameo in Captain America Civil War. It's going to be very brief. From what we've seen for how far in production this thing is, and the fact that it looks like Black Panther is going to be more taking that role that Spider-Man took in the comics. At least, you know, that's what it seems like, because you have to have someone in the middle for both Cappy and Tony to pull on. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty brief cameo in Civil War, and he's going to be getting his own movie in 2017. I don't see what direction that they're trying to do this in with another reboot. And I'm very skeptical with the choices that they've made, and the fact that Marvel doesn't have total control, which would be the ideal situation, but of course, we're gonna have to wait and see. So after the speculation, the official announcement of Xbox One getting a terabyte hard drive soon, not to be outdone, PlayStation has done the same. They've officially announced their 1 terabyte hard drive PlayStation 4 that will also be 8% lighter and use 10% less battery power. So not only is it a hard drive upgrade, but also a hardware upgrade as well. You know, I think these consoles should have launched as a terabyte at least. I myself am a still physical disc copy guy, and I just filled up my Xbox One when I had to install Arkham Knight, and I've only installed like 7 games on disc and a bunch of digital things, and only one like big digital game do I have downloaded on there, but it's already filled up. So it's nice that both Microsoft and Sony are getting their act together when it comes to memory, and that's going to be the PlayStation 4 that I pick up, which will be rather nice. So we have a lot of Destiny drama with the upcoming Taken King DLC. Bungie's going to be releasing a standalone game that has all of the DLC so far. You got the The first one, the second one, and this one, Taken King, $60. So definitely worth it if you either haven't gotten the game yet and were thinking about it. This way you get all the DLC, or even if you already own the game but you haven't gotten any of the DLC. Because Taken King will be by itself 40 bucks, so that'd just be 10 bucks for each of the first 2 DLCs. And the Taken King has a lot of new content. It's got new subclasses for the Titan, the Warlock, and the Hunter. Of course, new weapons, new, story areas, probably a new raid as well. But there was also the announcement of a collector's edition for $80 or $100 that came with exclusive shaders and weapons and experience packs and emotes that could not be purchased otherwise, and everyone threw a tizzy fit. As we know, customization is like the biggest thing in video games. You got your CSGO openings of getting a new colored knife. You got hats in Team Fortress that people will pay through the nose for. Well, when it comes to Destiny, it's all about shaders and emotes. So people were, I guess understandably, really upset that they would have to pay for all the content that they've already paid for just to get this additional content that they couldn't otherwise get. In response, as an apology, Bungie has since said that they will sell those shaders and emotes for $20 outside of this collection, so their longtime fans will be able to get those if they want them, and apparently they really do. And that's not to mention the Red Bull controversy. Many games have had you buy products in the real world and get content via a code on the game, and Red Bull has a deal with Bungie, so there's going to be some exclusive story mission on exclusive cans of Red Bull, which doesn't seem like a big deal. You pay like, what, $3 for some additional content, but people hate this whole having to pay for a real thing in real life to get something digital. They have no problem paying digital, money for just the digital content. I don't understand what the problem is, but people are upset, and you won't, if you don't buy the Red Bull and get your code that way, you will have to wait till New Year's Day of next year to play that story mission. So a lot of uproar with the Destiny fans. It's the game most people complained about, but still won't stop playing. Microsoft made the announcement that their Xbox Games for Gold will now permanently have 2 free Xbox One games every month, meaning we won't get Pool Nation FX for the 4th month in a row. Score. And the revealed games for July go as follows. July 1st, you'll be getting Assassin's Creed Black Flag on the Xbox One. They gave it to us on the 360, but I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first big AAA title available on either Games for Gold or PlayStation Plus on a current generation console. I know Xbox One hasn't done it, and I'm pretty sure PlayStation 4 hasn't done it either, with a big stapled release for free. And then 360 owners will be getting Plants vs. Zombies, and then halfway through the month, Xbox One owners will be getting So Many Me and Gears of War 3. So I think it's like one of the more solid months that Microsoft has had. The game is Black Flag and Gears and Plants vs. Zombies. Those are three pretty big IPs there, as well as So Many Me, which could be good. Who knows? They've surprised us quite often with these arcade games for free on Games for Gold. So yeah, definitely after a couple of really poor months, Xbox finally amping up their game. Even though we're getting a game that we already got in 360, it's still a pretty big game, and you could always double down on your gamer score. Congrats to America on pushing forward for marriage equality, and while, yes, that does matter, not typically the kind of thing that I cover, but it does tie in to Fire Emblem Fates that will be releasing the option to have same-sex marriage in their new upcoming game. Now with games like Pokemon, where you have like Red and Blue or X or Y, where you have different Pokemon available, when it comes to Fire Emblem Fates, Conquest and Birthright editions will allow you to play as a character that can romance one same-sex person in each individual game. So in Conquest, there will be one character that your male character can have a same-sex relationship with. And in Birthright, you'll have the option to romance one female character with your female protagonist. So, Team Yuri or Team Yaoi? Gee, I wonder which is gonna win. A lot of fans have been wanting this option, and marriage is a big deal in the Fire Emblem games. Also, so is offspring, but I've heard that if you go the same-sex marriage route, that there will be an adoption option, but don't quote me on that. That's just what I heard, but I know it is important to the game. Blizzard wants you to come back and stay a while. Listen! In a new 2.30 update to Diablo 3 that will be getting you access to a new area, streamlining the crafting system once again, as well as a new Heraldric Cube-esque item that sounds very, very promising. So if you haven't played Diablo in a while, looks like they're gonna try to reel you back in once again. I think it's gonna work again. And who knew the blowfish, that is what mattered this week. If you'd like to know what matters in the future, you can hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you thought about any of the stories that I mentioned this week in the comment section down below. Give it one of these thingamabobs, and I will see you next time.